Yo, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. This is Piper Academy Network, and I am Army Piper. You guys are the alumni. Shout out to everyone joining us right now. Looking at the daily, we got some green on the bubbles here. Some big movers. ADA is one of them, guys, and we talked about yesterday a dollar cost averaging entry on that. 2x on that dollar cost average. So if you guys got in on that, you did quite well. I know Crypto Billy rocked it yesterday on his dollar cost average. He bought up some ADA and made quite a bit of money last night on that big move, up 13.1%. You see that right there. There it is. Shout out to Crypto Billy on that call. Good on you, bro. We got Emma Coiner in here with us. We got a lot of people, but I want to give a special shout out to Chris Scott. The Bama man, one of my buddies that I just met at a Super Bowl pre-party on this weekend, fellow Army veteran. So shout out to him joining us in the chat today, guys. We got to take a look at the markets today, though, guys. We are opening a little bit in the red up here, getting the Dow Jones, the S&P, NASDAQ, and the Russell 2K all in the red, hinged on what's going to be happening today with Jerome Powell. He's testifying like in right now. 2 minutes ago, he started that. So we're going to talk about that today. The VIX, you can see over there, getting green, and we don't like to see that green when the markets are red. It means that there is some volatility sell-off going on, and that's what we're seeing right now, guys. We got a lot to go over today. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Jerome Powell. We're going to talk about what is happening with the 10-year Treasury yield, because if we jump over and look at those bonds, guys, that 10-year Treasury yield back up above 4.5%. So let's go ahead and do this, guys. You guys know what time it is. Class is in session. Let's go. And there's the chart. There's the people. There's the alumni. This is the show. Welcome to the Morning Market Report, guys. Market opened about 30 minutes ago. We are seeing some market sell off. We got to take a look at the charts today also. We put out a trade call for a short on Cardano. Sorry, Billy. This morning in the Discord, playing out right now also quite well. Did hit some critical resistance areas in Bitcoin, giving us some signals today, guys. Flashing a warning. It has to do with the miners and the hash rate. We're going to take a look at that. 5-day capitulation might be coming and happening. We had a little bit. It pulled out of it, might be going back into it, and we'll talk about what that means for the markets. Could be some good stuff. Could give us another rally pump, but right now we could see a pullback before that happens. So we're going to get into all of that today. We're going to break it all down so that you guys know what's happening. Shout out to Emma Coiner also in the chat, guys, and we appreciate everyone that has joined us here. Shout out to all the alumni. Love you guys a lot. You guys,
that's my alumni. You know what I mean?
Love you guys. Let's go ahead and jump over to the duo cam, though, and let's talk to OCGuy, my co-host. He's joining me here today. OC, did I catch you eating? Dang it. What's up, man? How you doing, bro?
No, man. I don't have enough time to finish my breakfast, but still, I'm saving my cold brew for 2 days. So every single time that you switch the camera, I'm just going to take a sip just to do not lose that tradition, right? And also, shout out to username. I'm bringing back, where is it the other way around? That little thing that he likes me to get in front of my face. So other than
best
that,
best hair in the game, OC. You got the best hair in the game.
I love it, my friend. Thank you so much. So other than that, doing fantastic. We talked about yesterday on Piper Academy Discord the cycles, right? And also we analyzed a Wyckoff scheme, or how is it playing out both in the longer time frame and the shorter time frame, and we came up with a possibility for a further move to the downside. We even set some support and resistances, and right now it is retracing. So I mean, I would like it to have already a little bit more pulling action, but still, guys, do not let it fool you. Bitcoin, when it moves, it moves. So it always wait for you to look away, and then just like just like a bad joke, it strike you when you least expect it. But yeah, other than that,
it does.
Looking like a
Do you want to go ahead and show what's going on with Bitcoin right now? We can start off with the Bitcoin chart, then we can go into the news.
Oh, absolutely. Let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's go.
Perfect. So just going nice. So just looking at a couple of things that, by the way, shout out to Piper. He was looking at this before, and I just kind of like just show it on the show. Talking about distribution scheme on YCAF. By the way, a good source of information, it is academybinance.com. It's not that I'm promoting Binance or anything, but they have a very digestible system of teaching, right? So what is it up with this? Let's go to Bitcoin and let's go something like daily. There we go. We got it coming up. A little hopping here, higher high, then retracing, not losing the previous lows, and then we get into a little range. Look at how similar this is looking, right? I mean, you have the PSY and the BC, PSY and BC, and then the rest of the scheme, right? So does this mean that this is going to be dropping? Well, I always like to look at this with this other area here, because one is bullish and the other one is bearish. Nonetheless, my analysis always stop at the spring. All right, on this one, and my analysis in here always stop at the so also kind of like the spring. And why is that? Because for me, this is a range. And a range for me has always shown that it's kind of like a 50-50 breakout. Yes, it gives you signals where it wants to break, but still those signals are very hard to catch. So I just for healthy sake, do not start stressing about it. I just look at it at a unknown perspective, right? So if I don't know where it's going to be breaking, well, then I can hedge. So short the top, buy the bottom, right? Hedge it. And then whatever it breaks, I'm already into a position using a stop loss for both of those positions. So I ride the wave to whatever it needs to be breaking. All right, let's take a look at here, and let's take a look at this point right there before the SOW. Right, this is the part where we could be at right now. But let me show you another thing. Interestingly, let's go back to Bitcoin. And let me just adjust that. Oh, thank you, Piper. So we could be going here and maybe having this low all the way here back to previous lows. And you know, guys, this is not new. I've been setting this, my as Piper mentioned, Jesus take the wheel, right, zone, because this is going to be an entry for me regardless. And this is going to go for my savings. Even if I know that this is going to be breaking down, even if I knew, all right, I don't know. Remember, ranging, unexpected, or sorry, unknown breakout. But let's zoom in this little itty bitty space in here. Let's go to the 4 hours. Look at that. Coming down, little range, V-shaped recovery, right? High, not higher than the previous range. That equals 70% of ranging. And what we did, we are ranging. So let's compare it instead with the bearish scenario, because this is the macro structure, all right? Let's compare it with the immediate scenario, which is this one. This was telling us coming down, little range, V-shaped recovery, AR not being as high as the previous range. That gives us 70% of ranging, and ranging we're doing. Still, look at the spring location, right? We still need to do a lower low. I mean, guys, this is advanced, and this is not me telling you. Where is it? Advanced. Why? Because this is not the whole story. You have like 10 different accumulation schemes and another 10 distribution schemes. But instead of learning them all, just learn the overall shape and then prepare for whatever happens, because this could very much be a spring and then fake out, find support, and then keep going upwards. And we have seen that before. We have seen that right here. I mean, look at that. We had the spring, right, coming out. This would have been a distribution, so we would have expecting for this to fall below, and we didn't. That's why instead of just learning every single piece, I just consider this as a range on unknown breakout. Still almost kind of like 80% of the times, based on my own analysis, I get the spring here. So the same thing I'm looking for, maybe further move to the downside, maybe sweep up the lows, and then moving forward to the upside, or breaking through and going still to the downside. Still, remember this trend line that we talked about. We are still respecting it. Maybe it's time for me just to update it quite a bit. There we go. And we are rejecting. Next area of support will be right below the previous low, right above the V-shaped recovery for the spring location, and then we'll see. But so far, oh, it moved out of my timing speculation. There we go. We have a goose hit. What does that mean? A further move to the upside. We just had to before have a steeper going downwards movement. And not only that, if we take a look at I think daily, let's just wait for it to load. We don't have very good news, and I guess this is on vacation. All right, we didn't have very good news, because I do remember that we were forming a possible divergence. It's not there yet. We do have the reversal, but we still need to wait to see if we can reject or break through above it. But still, this is what I'm seeing. This is also a little summary of what we talked about yesterday. If you want this kind of information, a little bit more breakdown, and explain to you, join the Piper Academy. We are always giving you this kind of session. So turning it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Yeah, good breakdown there, man. So I just wanted people to be aware of where we currently are with that whole picture. We talked about it a lot yesterday in our Discord. So that's what he's talking about there. Join our Discord, and you guys will get a lot of those classes. Let's go ahead and jump into the news, and let's talk about all the headlines that are going on right now. Plus, Jerome Powell speaking here right now. It says, moments away, I'm looking at CNBC Q&A with Fed Chair Jerome Powell before Senate Banking Committee about the economy, and that's getting ready to happen right now. That's actually started already, but he is not up there yet. Right now, it's Pocahontas. Pocahontas is talking up there right now on that screen, but let's go jump over to the news, and let's get into that. Guys, taking a look at the news here today. Let me fix my camera there. I don't like that. There we go. Perfect. Got that line off there. Look at total market cap right now on crypto. We are sitting at $3.2 trillion. The trend line running at $3.449 trillion. Under valuation of 7.13% on the total market right now is where we are sitting. Looking at the wristbands for Bitcoin, we are currently at 57.7% risk. That means you should be dollar cost averaging at this level still. That is what we do, and we did that yesterday. We put that one out for Bitcoin and all of our alts. Matter of fact, yesterday we put out this too. This is the risk bands here for ADA. Well, I'll have to show it in a minute. It's not on that chart, but we'll show that one, what we did out yesterday and how you guys could have made some good money. But looking at the wristbands right now for Bitcoin, sitting at 57.6%. Let me go click on ADA just to bring that one up. Yeah, ADA yesterday was down in the 4s, so it was a ×2 DCA yesterday on ADA. Let's go jump over and look at the dominance right now for Bitcoin. Bitcoin with stables right now on dominance running 60.59%. Without stables, 65.16. Like I've told you guys before, we need dominance to hit about 71 before we get a true alt season. So we are about 11% off from that still right now. Looking at the Bitcoin dominance, let's go and pull up the Fear and Greed and see what that's looking like today. Fear and Greed Index brought to you by Into the Cryptoverse. If you guys don't know, you should know. It is an amazing service. Sitting right now, 47. We are at neutral. Not a lot of fear in the markets right now, but you know that fear is opportunity. So right now, a little bit above the opportunity level, sitting at neutral on the Fear and Greed. Let's go look at the crypto bubbles and talk about the prices right now. The price is right. Bitcoin's currently down about 0.5% on the daily at 96,895. Looking at Ethereum, it is flat on the daily, up a little bit on the hourly. And we talked about a possible short squeeze coming on the Ethereum with all the shorts that were going on there. There were a lot of shorts. So looking at that right now, it's at $2,656, down 0.1% on the daily, up 0.2% there on the hourly. XRP retaking that third position from Tether, right now up 1.1% on the daily. It is at $2.46. Solana down 3.1 on the daily, flat on the hourly at $199, just under $200 there. BNB up 5% at $634. Number 8 position on here, Dogecoin up 2.7%, up 0.5%, just about a quarter. It's about 26 cents there. Cardano, though, guys, up 12.2% on the daily, down 0.2% on the hourly. This is coming in as we are hearing talks about a Cardano ETF. So an ADA ETF might be coming down the chain. One was filed with the SEC, I believe from Grayscale. We got an article about that, so we'll take a look at that here in a bit. But it is up just under 80 cents at 79 cents. Tron rounding out the top 10 at 2.6%, now 2.5% on the upside for the daily there. What else we got here? Let's go look. SUI, guys. I'm very bullish on SUI. You guys know this. I talk about it all the time. I think it is going to be a major competitor for a layer 1 here. Looking at SUI, it is up 6.2% on the daily at $3.48. Stellar Lumens at 4.8. Litecoin up 4 spots, guys. We've been talking about Litecoin for 2 weeks now. Keep an eye on this. This token about to blow up. Litecoin also getting an ETF announcement, up 6.7% on the daily, up moving up 4 positions on the market cap to number 15 at $126. Toncoin, Shiba Inu, Leo token, and Hedera all sliding down 1 spot to give up that position for Litecoin. They are all down or neutral here. And then rounding out the top 20, it is Hyperliquid for your top 20 tokens today, guys. Taking a look here at the markets, let's go ahead and click on the US here. We are down about 0.25% on the Dow Jones, down a little bit less than 0.25% on the S&P, and down about 0.2% on the Nasdaq. Russell 2K down about 0.5%, 0.47 there, and the VIX, the volatility index, up 2.72% there on the market open. Let's go check out the bonds again, guys. That 10-year Treasury yield, got to keep an eye on this. It is getting some move to the upside today, retaking 4.5% again as we await Jerome Powell to testify. It looks like he's up there on the screen right now. So that is what is going on with the bonds right now, getting that pump. Gold yesterday, after hitting a new all-time high, has pulled back a little bit. It's sitting at about $2,922. Silver down about 0.85%. Copper, platinum, and palladium all following suit, selling off to the downside after that massive rally yesterday on that. And then, that's what we got there for the commodities and the equities, guys. Let's go check out the economics calendar, because right now, Jerome Powell, 8 a.m. my time, 10 a.m. on the East Coast, Jerome Powell testimony with the banking committee. He is doing that right now as we speak. So we've seen a lot of volatility and bracing for that. Tomorrow, we're going to be getting all that inflation data, guys. Going to get that core inflation month over month. Right now, it's at 0.2%, expected to be a little bit higher on inflation for month over month. Expected on year over year to be down a little bit, though. So we'll see how that rolls in. Right now, expected to be 3.1% versus 3.2% on the previous year over year. Inflation rate month over month expected to be down a little bit, 0.3 to 0.2% there from the 0.4. So we could see that drop. Of course, this is not this includes energy and food. The core inflation does not. So this would be likely this offset here will be from housing, shelter costs that we're going to see that. I do believe we've seen a drop on the inflation of that. We're seeing some housing market prices drop around the country. So inflation rate year over year expected to be neutral, and then CPI data coming in expected to be a little bit hot. So we're going to be getting some mixed data tomorrow, plus a whole nother Jerome Powell testimony taking place. And then PPI on Thursday, rounding out the week with import, export, and retail sales on Friday. Guys, that's what we have in the week ahead. Looking here, this is stock futures slipping, and now the U.S. market open slipping as traders await that Jerome Powell update. Let's go see if there's anything in here on this. I want to refresh it because this is a live update news article from CNBC Pro. Let's go see. What do we have here? Stocks fall as Jerome Powell shows caution on rate cuts. Global trade tensions grow. We are seeing that. A lot of tariff talk going on right now, and that is causing some market volatility also. There was something in here, though, that I saw earlier, and maybe it's not here now. Yes, there it is. Cleveland Fed's Hammock, who was also speaking this morning, said he sees no rate cuts with upside inflation risk taking place. So a lot of that stuff coming off the table. Matter of fact, if we jump over here, give this a refresh, this is going to be your CME group Fed Watch talking about the chance of a rate cut or a rate hike. Right now, we're currently looking at a 95.5% chance of a rate pause. So no rate hike, no rate cut. That is going to be March 19th. We do not have an FOMC taking place in February. So March 19th, 95.5% chance of a rate pause, 4.5% chance of easing. I don't think we're going to see a rate cut there. And then we don't have another one in April. So May is the next one after that. What are the chances there? We're looking at a 75.4% chance of no change there. So, and of course, if this inflation data comes in higher, we start to see this continuing increase of inflation that we've been seeing since September, then we could very easily see where this starts to flip into possibilities starting to roll in on a hike. I don't know that that's going to necessarily happen, for sure, but it is a possibility, and we always need to be aware of that. Yeah, market's pricing in only one rate cut this year as fear grows that tariffs will spark inflation. And we talked about the penny yesterday also, guys, that no more printing of the penny from the U.S. Treasury Department. Evidently, it costs 3 cents to make 1 penny. So you make it make sense, right? So that also, I do believe, will have a play on inflation as prices start to come in, because as companies start to look at what their pricing levels are, say, for example, Piper Academy t-shirts are $14.97, right? Are they going to sell those for $14.95 to get rid of that 2 cents because we don't have pennies anymore? Or are they going to mark that up and sell it at the $15 mark? They're likely going to push it up on the price, not down on the price. So all kinds of things that could roll into translation to inflation right now. So let's go check out this Litecoin ETF, guys. This article coming in today from Cointelegraph. Litecoin ETF has a 90% chance to get SEC approval in 2025, according to analysts at Bloomberg. They say that the regulatory filings have been acknowledged and the SEC likely to view it as a commodity. Let's get rid of you banner over there. Thank you very much. Bloomberg Exchange Traded Funds, ETFs, analysts have tipped a 90% chance that U.S. security regulators will approve a spot Litecoin ETF before the end of the year. So that's why we're seeing some move on that. Liquidity heat map, we'll talk about that in a bit. And we will talk about that in a bit. I think that pretty much wraps up. Yeah, Grayscale. There was the other one for the ETF. I wanted to talk about that. Grayscale files for a spot Cardano ADA ETF with the New York Stock Exchange. So another mover there on the marketplace with Litecoin and ADA talking about those ETFs, and we are seeing some move on those. Let's go check out the chat and see what we got going on here. Shout out to Randy, Emma Coiners in here, Crypto Billy. We got username in the house, Crypto Crag in here with us also. BC Port Corp, host of the Good Morning Crypto Show right here on the Piper Academy Network. Shout out to my mod queen, Alexandra G, in the house with us. Retro Mike Tech RFT. Salute to you, sir. How you doing, man? And then Harp's in here with us. We got a lot, man. You guys are blowing up the chat. I love seeing it. Let's go. Hey, you guys want to hear something cool? We are currently working with Emma right now to get her equipment lined up, because Emma will be joining the Piper Academy Network as about twice a week on the Morning Market Report show here, joining us for Emma's Corner. So she's going to be coming on here talking about what's piquing her interest in the market, and it's going to be child labor, government costs. Tamale, no Piper Academy shirts yet, but I will make sure they are humanely sourced. I promise. But yeah, Emma Coin are going to be joining us here on the Piper Academy Network for the Morning Market Report, a couple days a week, guys, to start off with. And she's going to be helping us out, talking about Emma's Corner, what's piqued her interest for the week. I cannot wait, and shout out to her. Awesome. If we can get a drop in the chat for her channel, we're trying to get her numbers built up over there, and she's going to start making some content over there, doing some content here. And Emma is going to be the new face of crypto in the crypto space. So awesome. Shout out to Emma. And we appreciate everything that you do in the space. We are happy to have you on board the team. So let's go talk about Bitcoin right now. You already did a little breakdown of what's going on with Bitcoin on the short term, but let's talk about some higher time frame stuff that I'm seeing here. And I want to talk about that capitulation that's going on with the miners. It's kind of played out by now, but we are seeing the possibility of that returning back in. So let's go take a look at these charts and just jump over there, OC. Looking here at Bitcoin right now, guys, as OC was telling you, there was that trend line. I don't know why he keeps moving it around. You don't need to move it around. Just throw on your chart prime indicators, man. Dynamics has already identified that trend, and we are getting a grind up this line here, guys. Retest after retest here, and finally getting a drop off of that. Moving down right now, about 96,913, just under $97,000. So looking here at the Oscillator Pro, we did get a downtrend that printed here on the Oscillator Pro, downtrend and a down ribbon. So we are seeing that drop also. Let's go check out the daily. Look at these daily oscillators, guys. We are pinned right now between the 100-day and the 50-day moving averages. Also, histogram does look like we're about to flip up. This is my hopium moment for the moment here, guys. We have the histogram coming up, showing a little bit of upside move. The signal line's about to curve up again, give us another flip. We did get a daily here and a transition, true 7 clipping here, but money flow still in the red. Despite this RSI being so low and starting to come up down here, guys, this money flow in the red is cause for concern. Could mean low volume on this pump and make it a weak gain. And then lastly, I want to come to this chart right here. And This is the one where I'm talking about the capitulation. We'll jump over and talk about this article. You guys can see here, looking at a 5-day chart, we have a lower band here. This is a lower moving average of the pi cycle indicator. If we break this, we have some problems going on, but we're squeezed in between on our trend-based fib extensions here, which has been typically a cycle top. We bring this in, you can see when we get close to this in the cycles, we either hit it and reject off of it or reject near it. Right now, that is our resistance top. That is coming in currently at about $103,665. The current level of the moving average of the pi cycle top indicator is coming in at 93,406. Look down here, though. This is the hash rate ribbon, guys. And on the 5-day, we did go into capitulation here on January 31st. We have printed a recovery bubble, but this is very easily could be coming back in for another capitulation. However, let's go talk about an article here. Let's bring OC up here with me. What's up, OC? How you doing, bro? Let's go check out this article that I'm seeing here because they actually think that the capitulation could be over and running clear. So new Bitcoin miner capitulation hints at sub $100,000 Bitcoin being the local price bottom right now. Let's see what they're saying here on this. Bitcoin is given classic local bottom signs as miners face a new capitulation phase. According to an X post on February 10th, analytics about Bitcoin Data 21 flagged a triggering turnaround, which is that recovery green dot that I showed you on the chart. The hash ribbon is a well-known leading indicator of incoming Bitcoin price reversals at local lows. When the 30-day moving average of the hash rate dips below its 60-day equivalent, and again, that is down here. That's this gray line and this green line that they're talking about there. That is perceived as to be experiencing capitulation when Bitcoin becomes too expensive to mine relative to the cost of mining. Such events are rare and tend to precede periods of protracted BTC price upside. So the hash ribbon indicates that the worst of the miner capitulation is over when the 30-day crosses back above it, which it did, and that is that green dot that we showed you there on the hash rate ribbon. The last miner capitulation phase occurred in mid-October 2024, just before Bitcoin advanced beyond all-time highs of 73,800 to reach 108 2 months later. Again, if you guys want to see that chart, we'll bring it up here. We'll show you October here. Looking back into October, that capitulation phase here that they were talking about, I believe, was on a daily. So let me go back there and look. Yeah, that's going to be back right here. We went into capitulation. It trended on the line, and then bam, we blew up, and that was where we sent ourselves up to a new high. If you look at what happened here, we have that again on the line of the pi cycle top. So there is some chance there that we can get above this. However, if the price starts to break below this and moves that moving average down again underneath that 60, which would look at something like this here, we could go back into another capitulation. And then we are trapped underneath this moving average of the pi cycle top, and that is not a good place for us to be. But what is the upside move on this? Let's go talk about that and see what that's saying. Because we had this move $73,000 up to $108,000 in 2 months time period. Darkfrost, a contributor on-chain analytics platform, CryptoQuant, describe the hash ribbon as a reliable signal for market entries. We talked about this when we were at the bottom of the market in 2022, and we printed that buy signal. And I said, guys, we just came out of capitulation. We've got all of the bottom side indicators from Chart Prime's oscillators telling us it is time to go. So this has been a very reliable, and he's also agreeing that for market entries, a good time to do that. Notably, it has only missed once due to an unprecedented impact of the COVID-19 market shock back in 2020. A lot can happen before the next Bitcoin buy signal, but right now they're just keeping an eye on that. Bitcoin miners are once again growing their stacks, he told ex-followers alongside the Capitulation data covering miner net inflows. And when that was who made that indicator I just showed you also, guys, is the Capitulation. On hash ribbon data, Edwards described the latest capitulation as having just started, arguing that the true market turning point signal has not yet arrived. So there you go. That's why I said there could be flashing a warning, because if it has not truly yet arrived and we do break that area, we could see some more downside price on Bitcoin. If we do hold that nice moving average there on the cycle pivots, guys, could be looking at a much nicer move to the upside. And where would that upside be? I would be looking at least at about $114,000. Let's go look at the heat map here and just talk about some local time frames. Because if I put this here on the monthly, I want to show you guys the potential upside and the potential downside that we're seeing here. You can see we've got a nice run of liquidation heat map sitting above us right now. That's coming in at about $108,000. Liquidity sweep of that previous high there, giving us a little bit of liquidity pickup there. There's about $100 million there. But if you look here, we've got two big bands in between a very hot area here that's coming in about $77,000 to $79,000. Now, the ironic part about that price level, again, for you guys, let's go take a look at BTC1 and let's talk about this, because down at that level, that's what that they're showing on the heat map. That is a massive unfilled CME gap still sitting down there at about $77,000 to $81,000. So just want you guys to be aware what we're seeing here on the a lot of metrics. We're looking at the hash rate. We're looking here at the CME gas. We're looking at indicators, monthly pivots. Even right now, I want to pull this up and show you this real fast. The monthly pivot right now is coming in at $89,000. That's going to be this level right here for our monthly pivot. The first level of support all the way down in that CME gap area at about $80,000. So just wanted to make you aware. Knowledge is profit, guys. And so, we try to give you guys all the knowledge we can. OC, let's go ahead and kick it back over to you. What are you looking at on altcoins? I'm going to be taking a look at Ethereum and Cardano here in just a minute, but let's go ahead and kick it over to you and see what you're looking at.
Absolutely, guys. A quick reminder to keep an eye on what we show here in the show, and also what we post in the Discord. Because remember that we've been trading Litecoin for the range. Remember what I just told you. Remember the Wyckoff scheme that we were schematic that we were talking about. Little coming down, little range, V-shaped recovery. That gave us, guess what, 70% chances of ranging. And what we did, we ranged. Remember, right here, we figured out lower range areas, higher range areas, right? And we long the bottom, we short the top, get out at 50% out, going back into for that 50% out that we took out here. Then we fully long the top, then we add the other 50% back to the short. We short it until what happens? It reverses, right? Take us out with 50% gains on the short and 100% gains on the long, plus a 22%. Whatever X times whatever X you are, right? Or let's just even call it right now, 18%, right? So guys, this is the strategy that we've been talking about, and that's why I also told you guys that that I only teach and use Wyckoff until the range. I don't even look at if I'm gonna be breaking up or down. I just hedge it. And this is proof of the hedging strategy, right? So hopefully you guys have earned it, because guys, this was from our previous loan, this was a 27% plus a 50% on your trade right here. So this is an amazing strategy. Hopefully you guys have pay attention to the classes and taken advantage of it. So talking about this, if you missed this, let's go for another trade setups. I'm looking at Pendle here, right? Remember that Pendle, I was expecting here a breakout, and I left it here because I remember what I told you guys. I think the entry is still valid, right? So what's happening? Let me just remove this here. And we were waiting for the flip of the ribbon. We had it right here. There we go. But I was expecting it to have it a little bit farther up. But now is the time where I just move this out of the way. There we go. And start looking at not only my trend line, which, by the way, I can adjust it like this. Also, where is my dynamic reactor located? I can also fine-tune my entry by looking at my indicators. For example, where do I have support? Right there also, right below the dynamic reactor. So maybe a fake out back below the dynamic reactor could be it. Or if I have a low prime score, which I don't, that could also be a fake out, right? But this might not be the case because we have a higher prime score. What I don't like, it is, look at the size of the candles. There is no really a big body candle breaking through, right? So let me show you what do I mean with those breakouts. So for example, we broke out here, and this is not a big body candle, right? We broke out here, and this is some sort of big body candle, but we did not make it above the trend line, right? Do you see what I mean? Look at that. When we go through an important zone, like for example, your dynamic record or a trend line, I want to see this kind of big body candles, which indicates that this is a trustworthy movement. Like once again, look at this big body candle based on previous candle size, right? Breaking through with strength, going back for the retest, right? It's not about the breakout, it's about the retest, and off we go. So that is the only thing that we're missing, the big body candle breakout, still, because we have a somewhat a good prime score 6. I would be waiting just for the reversal. Remember, the same reversal that we've been talking about, right? And looking for, let's just adjust this for a second, flip of the ribbon, all right? Whatever it happens. What is it down here? Because I'm looking for that flip of the ribbon, or even this flip of the ribbon. That is the case. Let me show it to you. Once again, just it could happen like that, right? So regardless what it happens, I'm looking for the flip of the ribbon at support. And what is my support so far? It is somewhere around 343 and 328. So get ready with your longs in here, because we could be going in here. And when I said get ready for your longs, it's not guys open up a long. No, wait for the signals, wait for the market structure. Whenever we are there and we start seeing signals of volume going up, money flow going up, maybe prime score going up, right? That's when you start hunting for that area of support. And then you also start hunting for your area of stop loss, right? But remember, we are also in a range. We had a big fake out on that range, but still we could be breaking out that range. Remember, keep an eye on this, because if you miss Litecoin, this is your possible opportunity to get back into the game. POPCAT is another one that I'm looking at. Why? Because it's also playing out a little bit slightly differently of what I was expecting. All right, I was expecting actually a fake out here, right? But it held in here. It's holding above the previous range that we identified. And how did we identify it? You guessed it, Wyckoff, right? Coming down, little range, V-shaped recovery, next high. Oh, come on, not that. Next high, not higher than the previous range. That give us, guess what, 70% chances of ranging. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. You have seen this numerous times in here. And what we're looking for is not about the breakout, it's about your retest. This should have been your first long, but we were waiting for maybe a pullback. That's fine. I think that pullback could also still play it out. So this is going to be my next movement or update. I'm going to be waiting for that pullback all the way down here, because this seems to me like a double top. All right, we are trying to break below the zero line in here. You see that? How is it teasing to break down? But my money flow is too strong, and my consolidation score is 10. What is it 10 telling me? 10 is telling me that we're highly consolidating, but also 10 is the last number of the range. So we are on a unicorn name, because you will almost never see that 10, right, on a range. So basically it's telling me we are into an imminent breakout. What is it going to be breaking out? By the looks of it, to a downside. So I'm prepared for my areas of entries. What I'm going to be doing here, it is adding an alert and be prepared for that possible entry. Remember, as I always tell you, FOR, flip of the ribbon, support, and that will be perfect. Yes, our possible entry. Guys, 2 setups. Do not sleep on this. Boom shakalaka! Use a stop loss, because Bitcoin is not looking good, and this could be drawing farther down to maybe stopping you out, right? So remember, have positions, short stop loss, and take those entries. Not financial advice.
Awesome. Appreciate it, man. Nice rundown there. Shout out to the Otter Gang joining us here. Otter Gang, gang. Drop those otters in the chat, guys. And also, if you're bullish on Emma Coiner joining the alumni, drop a 1 in the chat for those guys. Let's go talk about that real fast on the pivot levels. Giorgio said, I don't have the same pivots, prime pivots on my chart that you have. So let's go look at that real fast. Also, shout out to Crux of Crypto. What's up, my friend? How you doing, man? That's my brother in arms right there. All right, looking here, guys. This is my setup. I'm going to leave it here for 1 second just so you can grab this. If you grab this, Georgios? There you go. I'm set on the monthly. That's probably why you don't have that. Let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at Cardano, guys. Yesterday, we gave a setup on or a DCA entry on Cardano, February 10th, wristband 466. This is what we drop in for our VIP members in our Discord every week. We give them a bunch of altcoins, where we are on the wristband, and what your dollar cost average multiplier should be. And so, yeah, yesterday we gave that out yesterday morning. It was posted live in our Discord. Let's go take a look at Cardano right now and see how that's looking. So this is the short setup that I did this morning. We had the overbought triggering on the oscillator. We were pinging pretty high there on the oscillator pro ribbon. After this move up yesterday, buy indicator printed on Chart Prime's trendy right there. It said buy, and that would have been a great run up, but we got rejected on my 50% Fibonacci level right there. We are now losing our support number 1 on our monthly pivot lines. I'm watching right here, guys, for a return back to the golden pocket, because this is pretty much where we got our bounce at yesterday. Support level 2 of the pivots there inside of the golden pocket, plus a trend line printing there off of the Market Dynamics Pros. Combination of my Fibonacci's plus Chart Prime said, hey, this is a phenomenal entry level to get in at, and now we are rejected at the 50. I'm watching for a return trip down to that trend line, also in the golden pocket. That would give us time for all of this to cool off. If we go take a look at the ADA chart on the daily here and see what that's looking like and talk about that. Where is ADA? ADA. There we go. Looking at Cardano here on this chart, guys, on the oscillators, we are seeing that we're sitting daily rejection beneath the quantum reactor and the dynamic reactor, pinging perfectly right there on the top of that. That's also going to be our value area low of our fixed range volume profile. We do have a lot of support coming in down here. Keep that in mind. But there's a big gap here that if we are able to break this and go to the upside, maybe after pulling back to that golden pocket level I was talking about there, that we could see this run up, because I think once we revisit that area and get our bounce, we're going to be firing off a bullish signal trend here on the MACD, and the histogram might be flipping in to start doing those candles for green, and that would mean an upside move there, bullish move. Looking very low here on the RSI daily also, and we do have money flow starting to come back up, but I do think that we will see a return back to somewhere around this level of about 70 cents. It's also going to be our daily close yesterday at 71 cents for a Cardano bounce there, guys. But watch for that pullback. Unless we are able to get a turnaround from something bullish here, something hawkish here coming off, or dovish, I should say, coming off of Jerome Powell today, guys, we could see this downside move. If we do get some dovish talk from him, then we might find support and continue the upside move. What I'd be watching here, guys, would be at least the platinum pocket looking at 90 cents, very likely up to the golden pocket. And if we do break above that value area low, we could be looking as high as a 50% move here on the daily Fibonacci's, which will be coming in right at $1 on the point of control, guys. That's what I'm watching for Cardano. Let's go jump over to Ethereum and see how that's looking here. I want to talk about that on the lower time frames, and we'll talk about it here on the higher time frame. Looking at Ethereum on the 4-hour right now, we are sitting at the value area low there beneath the 382. Watching that level, let's go see what else we have. We got the pivot tables coming in. Monthly pivot coming in right now, right about $2.91. That's going to be right in line here very shortly with this coming in with the dynamic reactor and a retest of this trend line. So if we do get a bounce here from the value area low, looking at about $2,900 for a rejection point. If we break this value area low, guys, we're looking first level $2,484. Let's check it out on the daily and see how it's looking there. Daily is looking like we could be setting up a wave here, because the candles are not getting that pumpy here. We're not getting shorter and shorter candles as much as I would like to see on a price move. Could be looking at a liquidity sweep. We do have a golden pocket on the daily coming in right now at about $2,500. Nice psychological number. Money flow is coming up, and we are pretty low though. So I would say that likely head up to at least a 50% before we would get a rejection. Feeling more bullish right now on Ethereum. We talked about it yesterday. Lots and lots of shorts opened up on Ethereum. And when you have that many shorts opened up, and I'm talking astronomically more than we've had since like last year, when you have that many shorts opened up on an asset, you do tend to get a short squeeze. So watch out for that there. Looking local time frame, little pullback, depending on the CPI data and the PPI data that comes out this week, could see a little more of that sell-off happen. But overall, starting to show some bullish daily trends on the chart. So, OC, we got about 16 minutes left. That was Ethereum and Cardano. Anything that you want to go over here before we slide out of the market report here and go get the rest of the day going? We got a lot of stuff today. What do you got for us, man?
Absolutely. We got right here GM. Yesterday we talked about GM. Remember, we even set an alert. Look at that. It was hit today for my time. Sorry. Let's take a look at it on this 6:24 a.m. if I'm not mistaken. And we were talking about a further maybe move to the upside. I was expecting first, well, the goose head, right? The goose head usually is a further move to the upside, but I was expecting not such a greater move to the upside. We are breaking out, but at the same time, we are retracing everything that we gaining here. So we still need to be a little bit careful. And let me just make sure that my indicators are loading correctly. And we still need to be a little bit careful, but because despite we still have a long way to go to the upside, we're not there yet with the flip of the ribbon, right? So this could still be a way for us to pull back all the way back down here to 23.18. How do we trade this? We're going to be trading this after a multi-candle movement. If this keeps pumping up, we're not going to be entering. Why? Because this is not after chasing the price. We need a pullback to re-enter. So still keep your eyes on 22.89 and also at $25 if we reach this top and then we go for the retest down here. So this will be your entry if we reach this part, or if we fall down, this is going to be your entry here as we have flip of the ribbon. If there's no flip of the ribbon, doesn't matter if you are on those supports. Remember, you need a combination, at least that combination with flip of the ribbon, or at least ribbon on reversing areas, and your price action on support or at resistance, depending on what you're looking for. Other than that, that's what I got. Piper, let me throw it back to you.
Yeah, let's talk about some stuff real fast. I want to go over the REKT Capital. There's a link down below if you guys don't have a subscription to his newsletter, but I want to talk about what I'm seeing over there. Shout out to Alex O Crypto in the house. I see you, bro. And also, by the way, I did not forget. I didn't miss it. I just forgot to say it. Shout out to Alexander G, gifting 5 memberships. Welcome to all the new alumni members. We appreciate you all. And Alexander G, you are goddess. I love you so much. Let's talk about the markets, guys. Flipping into the green. Evidently, Jerome Powell being a little dovish right now on his speech. We are starting to flip the markets into green. Should be starting to look at some of those levels that we were talking about for upside move because we could be breaking some of that resistance coming in off of this. NASDAQ currently up. S&P almost flat down about 1/100%. 2/100ths, whatever. Okay. And Dow Jones looking green right now too. Volatility index slowing down a bit. So I want to talk about the REKT Capital newsletter today because I was reading through it this morning. That's what I did. Woke up, started drinking my coffee, sent a good morning to TheOCGuy, and then I joined up on Alex O Crypto Show, petted my dog, and read this article. So I want to read this real fast. Drinking my coffee. Gotta have the coffee. So this is a story of reaccumulation ranges, guys, from REKT Capital newsletter. And he's got some really interesting stuff in here. First of all, talking about the bull flag on the monthly chart right now. But one thing that I wanted to show you is a post-breakout retest is now in progress, okay? So we had this pump up. It came down to this accumulation range here. And he says Bitcoin needs to hold this level as support to confirm successful breakout from the bull flag to ensure trend continuation to the upside. That level right now, guys, coming in at about $96,000. That's the level that we really need to hold there, 95, 96,000. At the moment, the higher low is still holding as support. Granted, many downside wicking moments do tend to occur around here, but as long as the price continues a weekly close above the higher low, then any downside deviations would be temporary while maintaining general price positioning within that pattern, guys. The level that he's watching here for the low side of that would be the weekly candle closes inside of this wedge or this triangle. Back here, 93,458 would be the low level on that. And then that's not this chart, this one here. He talks about these reaccumulation zones with the above chart from April 2024. So we'll look at this real fast. He's talking about here, any downside deviation below them would be a bargain buying opportunity. That would be the black circles that he's showing here when it has dipped below these deviation lines of support and resistance, sideways accumulation, getting those buying opportunities. Right now, that buying opportunity on the low side is coming in, guys, at right around $62,000. Believe that or not, with the above chart from April 2024 signaling an outsized opportunity for Bitcoin below approximately $60,000 and current price being around $97,000. The historically recurring price tendencies throughout the cycle clearly continue to persist. And if they continue to persist even more so, as they will most likely will, then any downside deviation below the current weekly range would be a big bargain buying opportunity. And that level coming in here, again, right around that, right around $93,000, $90,000 range. So any downside, already some downside deviations have occurred, mainly in downside wicking form. The maximum pain scenario would be for Bitcoin to continue teasing a loss of the current range, downside deviating into the orange area, scaring investors into capitulation before reclaiming the range, only to break out from it overall, continue, and a brand new uptrend of price discovery happens. We have just started the new 4-year cycle candle, guys. So looking at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, bigger upside, moves past the range, right? That range currently right now on the one side is currently sitting right below that, about $94,000 is where that range is at, I believe, when I looked at it. But it has started that new 4-year cycle candle one just developing. So if you guys didn't know, the 4-year cycle is over, and we are now in a new 4-year cycle based on the 1-year, 2-year, 3-year, 4-year candles. So good read there. I dropped that link down below, guys. It's a free newsletter, so go check it out. All you got to do is put your email in there, and you'll get it sent out to you, and I read it every week. It's pretty good. So shout out to everybody in the chat right now. If you guys haven't done so yet, smash that like button. We appreciate you guys all being here. We are about to head out. OC's got a class over at Chart Prime to go do, and we've got to get our day rolling. I got a dog that needs to go for a walk. So shout out to everybody that joined us today from the Otter gang in the house, and also all of the alumni. We appreciate all of you guys. Thank you for joining us today. OC, what do you got for these guys on the way out? Tell them what happens. Tell them what happens with Bitcoin price if they smash that like button.
Guys, thank you so much for joining. And remember that the Piper Academy is the only place where hitting that like button gave you power-ups. So this time, if you hit that like button, you'll see an immediate reversal of price action. Which charts? Unknown, maybe on the 1 second, but give it a try. Why not? Put it in the 1 second, click the like button, see price of Bitcoin going up even for 1 little second. Try it. Maybe if we all get together and smash that like button at once, we can get it to 500K at once, finally.
Awesome. Do it. Everybody, all at the same time. Hit it. Guys, we appreciate y'all joining us here. Volatility today. We do have a little pump market going on right now with his speech going on, Jerome Powell talking in front of the Banking Committee. But as soon as he's done talking, we could see some reversal. Just keep those stop losses tight and ride the volatility. Let's do this. If you guys got anything out of today, share this with a friend. Tell them come check out the Piper Academy Network. We are so close to 7,000 subscribers. So thank you to all of you who have made that happen. We will be back here tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, the charts, the market, the economy, and everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Don't forget to tune in to the rest of our shows today. We got the Trade Academy with Trade Intuition. We've got the Crypto Nightcap and Markets After Dark tomorrow morning, starting it all over again. BC Port Corp with Good Morning Crypto. Until next time, guys, trade safe, and as always, use some risk management. Peace.
I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall off. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line from OCGuy, former Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Chart Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have, step fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling up, the wheels fall off. Sound off.
To get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean? Boom shakalaka!
That was awesome, dude.